Hello and welcome. You have ventured into the lair of the cave bird. I'm using this channel as a creative outlet for my hobbies, including solo role-playing. This video is an introduction and session 0 of a solo campaign in which I will show you the rules set which I'm using, the campaign setting or module that I am playing, as well as house rules and character introduction. Rule set: Dungeon Crawl Classics. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this other than to say Joseph Goodman Games. This is an excellent book. It's an excellent layout. It's easy to understand. I'm used to older games like BX and AD&D First Edition. This is a little bit newer, but it has that classic feel to it. It's a little bit different, including some of the spell casting and combat mechanics that will be used. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a little different from what I'm used to, but interesting, fun, and even sometimes funny, as I hope in the solo play it will come forth. Campaign setting: I am going to run The Forbidden Caverns of Archaia by Greg Gillespie. Yes, the Greg Gillespie who wrote Barrow Maze, amongst others. Pretty popular author. And this, I have not run this. You can see this is crisp, brand new book. Got it from Drive-Thru RPG. I've read through the PDF version of it. It looks very fun. It looks exciting. It's a mega dungeon setting. It looks extremely deadly, so I'm sure that I'm going to lose some characters. Let's go over some of the house rules that I'm using. Now, like I said, I'm used to older style games like BX. This is made for older style games, so trying to convert it into Dungeon Crawl Classics is going to be a bit of a challenge for me, but I think it's workable and I think I can do it. It's not too much of an issue there. But some of the house rules I'm going to follow are, I'm going to follow these rules in this rule set, except for the following. Rule number 1, all PCs start at level 1 with their max hit dice, plus 1d4 for their 0 level that I'm skipping. Rule number 2, no death saves. This book allows for death saves. I'm cutting that out. So 0 HP means dead. Rule number 3, instead of using the XP system in this book, I'm just going to go classic old school and use the BX system of XP and leveling up. So a fighter is going to needs to get 2,000 XP to level up to level 2, and XP will be based on treasure recovered, monsters slain, and then I'm just going to add a few extra feats in there, such as overcoming obstacles and traps, establishing terms with factions, which there are quite a few in this book, completing stated goals, and clearing dungeons, etc. Rule number 4, instead of using individual initiative per these rules, I'm going to use the basic expert rules of side initiative, unless otherwise stated. I might change that later on. It's probably going to be situation based, but for now, side initiative. So good guys, all of them get to go first or second. Like this, it's going to be one side gets to go completely, then the next side. Rule number, let's see, what is this? 5, encumbrance. This book talks about encumbrance a little bit, but it's not. There's nothing in the character sheets that really, fleshes it out a whole lot. And I don't even like the BX rules for encumbrance. Where you use coin-based weight system. Man, I don't have time to do a lot of micro calculations in my head, so I'm going to use a homebrew encumbrance sheet, something I've written up, and it's going to be slot based. And the format I've used makes a lot of sense to me, in my head at least. So you might see that in game. Rule number 6: player characters heal 1 to 3 hit points per long rest, and that means at least 8 hours of uninterrupted rest. So those are my basic house rules. If I'm missing something, I will just I'll just bring it up during the game. I promise you I'm not trying not to metagame or just make up rules on the fly. As you can see, I've marked my book here for quick references. You know, if I want to turn to a page, class, fumbles and critical tables, etc. So let me go over real quick the characters, the character creation procedure that I've used. In this game you have 6 ability scores: strength, straightforward; agility, it's basically your dex or dexterity; stamina, which kind of just is the same thing as constitution; personality, which is kind of a merging of charisma and wisdom together; intelligence, straightforward; and then the 6th stat is luck. It's interesting. In fact, I would even argue all of these stats are really important, but luck is probably the most important in this game. There's a really cool mechanic around it. So I've rolled my characters. I've rolled a pool of 20, 1 to 20, and down 3d6 down the line, starting at strength, agility, stamina, personality, intelligence, luck. And I did that 20 times, as you can see here. I'm sorry if I'm having lighting issues, so I'm sorry if you can't see all these numbers clearly. But out of these 20 possible characters, I've chosen 6 of them for my starts. I've chosen, well, let's just get into the characters I've made. And I'm going to present these in roughly marching order, how they're going to be presented in, marching in a dungeon setting. First character, Vercingetorix, level 1 warrior. He has strength of 16, agility of 7, stamina of 6, personality of 14, an intelligence of 12, and a luck of 4. So this character is the most unlucky of the bunch, but he is a level 1 warrior, armor class 15, and he starts with 14 hit points. Character 2, Kalain, the Acolyte, level 1 cleric. He has a strength of 10, agility of 13, stamina of 15, personality of 14, intelligence of 12, and a luck of 9. His armor class is 16 or 17 if he's wearing his shield, and he has 14 hit points. His deity is Veridicus, and he starts with 4 known spells, which are Blessing, Second Sight, Paralysis, and Resist Cold or Heat. Third character, Zyma, level 1 thief. She has a strength of 12, an agility of 13, a stamina of 16, a personality of 12, intelligence of 12, and a luck of 14. She has an armor class of 14 and 14 hit points as well. And she is a lawful thief, which I prefer the lawful thieves over the according to their stats. She has pluses or minuses on certain things, such as like finding traps and disabling traps. She's going to be really good at. Fourth character, Half-Step, the Wanderer, first level halfling. She has a strength of 11, agility of 10, stamina of 14, personality of 5, intelligence of 8, and a luck of 16. She has an armor class of 12 and 11 hit points. And a halfling is a really interesting character class in this game because they're supposed to be really lucky, and they are able to burn their luck for other people that are in their group, in their friends. 5th, Aerolith, the Wanderer. 1st level elf. He has a strength of 11, an agility of 13, a stamina of 11, personality of 9, intelligence of 15, and a luck score of 17. By far the most lucky. He has an armor class of 15 or 16 if he is carrying his shield, and he only has 8 hit points. He has 4 known spells, not including a patron bond. His spells are Cantrip, Sleep, Detect Magic, and Chill Touch. 6th character, Mad Martin the Evoker. He is a level 1 wizard. He has a strength of 10, an agility of 12, a stamina of 10, a personality of 9, intelligence 18, and a luck of 11. He has an armor class of 11 and 16 hit points, which is insane for a wizard. But let me explain why. One of his spells that he's memorized is Find Familiar. I rolled randomly to see if he had already been able to cast it before session 1. He has, and so he has a Guardian type familiar, which is a dog, a hound, that gives him an extra 10 hit points.
The private meeting continues beyond midnight, here in the vestry of St. Ig Cathedral, where a long table and 6 chairs have been neatly arrayed under the 2 banners of the Red Cross of Veridicus and the 7 stars of the Church of Arcantril. His Eminence Bishop Mordecai Justhand occupies his cathedra throne on the east side of the table, her Magnificence Magus Kelda upon her own throne on the west. Stacks of books, scrolls, and holy texts are scattered on the table surface. Under the 7-star banner with Kelda are seated her representatives, Mad Martin of Threshold and Aerolith of the Sylvan Circle of Red Thicket Wood. Representing the symbol of Veridicus seated are the red banner's 2 emissaries of Kalain and Vercingetorix of the half-fallen city of Threshold. The negotiations have been tense, but finally terms are agreed upon. Kelda says, "It is settled then. We are to join temporarily upon the quest. Hereupon agreed, and the goals duly stated of 1. Seek out and validify the nature of the cult of the Fanged and Rotting Hand, its leaders and adherents' missions, and the seeming connection to the Forbidden Waste near our city of Eastdale. 2. Discover the historical and archaeological significance of Archaia, the ancient sunken city and its forgotten and lost magical arts. 3. Understand the goals of the Alliance of Evil and chaotic populations and the threats present within and around the sunken city." Mordecai Justhand says, "Agreed. These are suitable and noble terms. In addendum, each of our churches shall receive no less than a tithe of any treasures recovered. I agree you, Kelda, shall have procurement rights to arcane items, texts, and specific treasure. Veridicus, whom I represent, assumes the ownership of divine paraphernalia." Kelda smiles with satisfaction. "Yes, my new ally. And each of our institutions is responsible for the needs of our emissaries, including housing, sustenance, and provisions, which includes hiring guides." Bishop Mordecai says, These terms are acceptable. Come, let us join hands and sign the documents of binding. The ceremony of alliance proceeds with the two religious leaders shaking hands and embracing, while their 4 representatives repeat the action within their own circle. On the following day, Mad Martin, Erelith, Kalain, and Vercingetorix interview and recruit 2 guides who have knowledge of the Forbidden Zone. Zyma, the Fremic nomad, and her friend Halfstep the Halfling, whom she rescued from the cruel orcs. Both have agreed to the terms of this adventure and know fully the costs and dangers involved.